then I need to, fuck. I'm okay. I'll have to go back to some old footage, see if I can pull out some shit where we're all saying free. Yep. What up? What up? So, uh, thank you for joining in and checking out our podcast. I encourage you people watching to go back and maybe watch some of our old ones if you haven't, and just get a grasp on kind of how you know how we construct these and what we're actually talking about. Today's topic, like Robert said, is about success and kind of what it means to you. It's gonna be, the thing that's unique about success is it's gonna be different for everybody. And one of the things I really just wanted to start out with is success. Success is a journey. It's not a destination. You don't ever actually arrive there, because once you get there, what's going to happen? You're going to be able to see further and want to achieve more, right? It's kind of like a plant, and a plant never grows to a certain point and then stops growing. It either continues to grow or it dies or is dying, right? It doesn't just sit and, oh, I've achieved where I've wanted to grow and that's it. No, it grows more or it starts dying. And I think that's really kind of plays into kind of, real life too, about success. You don't, it's a journey. You don't actually get there because, you go as far as you can see. And once you get there, you're going to be able to see further and you're going to want more. We as humans, it's how it is, but it's going to be different for everybody. And, for myself, it's really, man, there's so much I want to talk about, just the path and being able to see the path. But, I like to look at success on the road and, small wins, small successes for me is what helps me build confidence to keep going. Because once you get a small win, you feel good. You feel like you're doing the right things, and it helps keep the drive going to towards what you want. You know what I mean? Compared to possibly thinking always concentrate on the bigger picture and thinking, well, I'm not at the dream point, yet, and thinking, well, I haven't had any success compared to, getting a success at maybe completing something that's on that path and using that energy and momentum to create more success or keep even the drive to keep going. Because if you're waiting, for that big monster success and not paying attention to your little wins along the way, it might be hard to keep going when you can't see it or you haven't achieved it yet. Maybe the ultimate success, right? I think it's really important to pay attention to some of your small successes, because they will eventually continue to get bigger into the ultimate, wow, this is really, really wanted to get. And then when you're there, you're ready to go somewhere else. Um, and I also kind of just wanted to touch on as well uh, is, oh, let's go back. Let's go back. Again, the momentum cycle. Small successes builds confidence. Confidence creates activity, right? Action. Activity creates habits, success habits, and then success habits creates more uh, uh, create success, which creates more confidence. So it's like having these small successes gets you on this momentum cycle to keep building and making your successes bigger and reaching bigger points. Uh, I just kind of wanted to start out with. I have a lot of stuff actually on this. I kind of want to start off with.
I think you're right on, Will. I think I'm vibing with you on that because that's my thought process on it, man. And because I'll ultimately in the back of our heads, it's easy to think success is this massive thing, which it is. But as we're going through this journey of reaching our dreams, our goals, if we don't learn to celebrate our little victories, which is success to me, if we don't learn to celebrate those, we can get discouraged, we can get sidetracked, um, and almost, I mean, at times maybe even give up to keep going down that path to achieving the big dreams, right? That massive success that you want to talk about. So as we're looking at things, is that you got to be able to honor those little wins and those little successes because those are the small things that are stacking up little by little as you're going through your journey to that big massive success thing that you're getting to. And I think you were right on as far as when you get there, if you're like those the massive successful people, once you get there, you're looking for more. So you're always going to be chasing it or striving for more. But that's what we're built for, man. We're built to create and just keep achieving, and just building blocks, more and more and more and more. And that's for me. That's one of the things is it was hard to put it in my head because forever it was like you're never going to be satisfied. But in a way, I am satisfied, but I'm never content where I'm at. You know, I'm always going to be looking at growing more and more and more and achieving more things. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's so many different areas in life that I mean, I used to think of like success, it's all about money, how much shit I have, how much is in the bank, how much materialistic stuff I have. But then I look at my family, I look at my business, I look at so many other things that I have in my life, and uh, I am very successful, man, and not just successful, but I'm grateful to be where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So finding that balance in all areas of your life and realizing you know, that you are successful in all of them. You know, so not just getting steered towards one direction or the other. It's a balance. It's a balance in your whole life because one side of take for existence if you're in a relationship with your wife, your husband, that one's perfect, but your finances are off. You know, that finances being off is going to throw off your relationship back and forth. So, and that's just one simple example because that's the most common one across the world, period. So, if you can find a way to be successful in all areas of your life, even those little wins, little dinners going out, and just that balance, man, and figuring that out, you're winning. You know, and today I was traveling for a little while, and I hit this kind of like like a zen, this peaceful feeling that I'm good, man. Like everything that I'm doing is in the right direction, and my life feels very balanced. And it's taken a long time to get there, going through some shit here and there, you know. But but finding that balance, finding success, little wins in all areas of my life has created that. It's almost just like a blanket or a foundation for all of it. And for the first time, I felt worthy of having it all and ready to have it all. It was a weird feeling. It was crazy. Yeah. Powerful. Hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
even at the scale that you're at now, when you do get to the next stage in six, let's say in the bigger scheme of success, even when you get there, you're still gonna have some other interfering forces coming in and messing with your plan, just in a different way. So as we climb the ladder, we're still gonna have all this bullshit coming at us in different ways, different forms, and we have to be able to adapt, think on our feet, adjust, not let it get to us, as much as we can. But that's what makes us grow. You know what I'm saying? It makes us think, it makes us strategize, it makes us get past it, and it doesn't matter at what stage of success that you're at, you're always going to have them, just in different forms. Right now, we're just learning how to adapt to them, how to adjust, grow. And as long as we keep that in our head, it's like, I know where I'm going and we're getting past it. No matter how shitty the water may get to it, we're swimming through it.
We're all chasing a big, not maybe not we're all, because like each of us has different dreams. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but we're all chasing something, right? And being able to see your small successes, it's just gonna help with your energy. You know what I mean? You get a small success, pop a fucking bottle. So wait, don't wait. Pop a bottle now and celebrate. That's that energy you're feeling, and those feelings, those emotions, will help you get to the point to where you could, you're celebrating like you already fucking achieved it. And when you get to that point, that's when things are really supposed to be moving, moving towards you for to keep you going down that path. I think also too, it's when you think like that, it's easier, or when you can see your small wins, it's also opens you up to be able to pay attention to the path. You know what I mean? You get a small win, if you start noticing, shit's gonna start happening. People, events, situations, and circumstances in your life are gonna start happening that continues to lead, especially if you're celebrating and you're throwing out even that more energy, or popping the bottle. Fuck, I'm already there, but if you're always concentrating on trying to get to that, whatever it is, and not paying attention to the small ones, you might even miss what's going on in front of you that is leading you down that path to what you want. For fucking example, I wrote a book, right? Yeah, I have a couple other books I'm trying to write. Never fucking one time have I thought about writing a comic book. Not one time have I thought about writing a comic book. All I know is I want to be a successful writer. I want to get these stories out. I want to sit in the movie theater and see my name on that fucking screen at the end. I see myself in it, right? My dreams got bigger after this whole thing. But anyways, you know what I mean? And so this is what I'm like, these are my dreams, and these are the things I want to achieve, and then the path to get, trying to pay attention to the path. And we've been doing these podcasts, right? And and me and Robert, we had a conversation, because I was gonna shelf. I have a whole story I was gonna shelf and start a new one because I thought it was too big or whatever, and then Robert happened to mention why don't you just write a fucking comic book? Never thought about writing a comic book, right? And we were just talking about like, oh yeah, pictures. Yeah, let me see that. And then it just so happens, I'm talking about paying attention to the path, right? It just so happens, all this stuff I've been concentrating on, just this small stuff, Now I can see a whole lot further than I could 3 months ago. I'll tell you that much. And we've been doing these podcasts, and the first person to comment was a friend that just happens to be a professional comic book artist. Not to mention my other homie right here can draw. But I'm just saying, like, well, along the path, right? How is it that the first person to comment on what we're doing here, we just had a conversation about maybe writing a comic book that I never thought about in my head. The first person that comments happens to be a homie that is a professional comic book artist. Shit. It's like, well, guess I'm going to write a comic book, right? Because you can't even get more obvious than that. Now, if I was sitting back thinking, for example, I would never do this, but thinking back, I've written a book, and some people have read it, whatever, but that's not what I want to be directing movies and stuff, right? I probably wouldn't even have paid attention to the path that obviously it's time to write a comic book, because there's shit that's lining up along what I want that is leading me down this path of what we suggested 2 days earlier. You got to be open, man, because things will start happening that will lead you further. And if you're not willing to, if you can't, it's not even that you're willing or not. You don't even, maybe you don't know, so I need to pay attention. Join in, the small things create bigger things, and you have to be able to see the path. It will happen right in front of you if you're just concentrating on the bigger picture and not the fucking journey of getting there.
And at times, we're so married to the way that we think it should look that we could miss the opportunity of something else popping up, because we're so focused on, it needs to look this exact fucking way. But in reality, no, it doesn't. Because the other opportunity pops up over here, and you're so fucking focused over here that you miss that one. You got to be able to be open to it. You know what I'm saying? To sit back and say, actually, this might be my opportunity, but it's coming in a different direction. It's coming in a whole different shape, form that I had envisioned in my mind of how it was going to come at me.
We're not smart enough to know. We are not smart enough to know. I want $1 million fucking dollars. Here's the thing. I don't even really. It almost it almost comes down to a feeling. Why do I want $1 million? Well, fuck, I want to feel like the stability and the just being able to fucking wake up every day, do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's not even $1 million that I want. I just want the feeling that would create, and let's just see what happens along my path that gets me there. It might not even be $1 million. It might be teaching kids how to fucking swim. I don't need $1 million, but this feeling, this feeling of, whatever, bringing this to kids that'll save their life and enjoy whatever, might even be greater than $1 million. I don't know. I'm not smart enough, right? I just know what I think I know what I want. That's why it's almost good to dial it down to, why do you want that? Well, because I want to feel like this. We'll concentrate on that and let God and the universe decides what it is along your path that they're going to reveal that will get you to that feeling. It might not even be $1 million I want. It might be something else. But it's important, though, to define it enough that you can take some sort of action, right? Because you can't just, think you want this and then not do anything, waiting for the path. You have to know enough of the how to take some sort of action so you can create that energy and then pay attention.
Yeah. And you struck something on there. Well, this past week when I took, I don't know how long, it was a week-long vacation. And I, this feeling that I had, man, it just kind of gave me a taste of what I can not just have in my life, but what I can give back. You know what I'm saying? And that was impactful, man. It's not for the first time I felt, not, I felt like it wasn't all about me. I was always like, oh, I got to do this for me. I got to do this. I got my Lambo. I got my mansion. I got my jet. For the first time during this trip, I was like, holy shit, this is bigger than me. I've thought about it. I've spoke it, but it didn't really set in with me until I had my sister, her kids, my daughters, my grandson, uh, and to be able to sit on the beach with them in multiple locations and design it any way the fuck we wanted to just gave me a taste and a feeling of what's to come. It's bigger than my mind can even begin to design, man. Like it was bigger,
Might be a Lamborghini you want. Right?
Yeah. And it might not be. It might be more than that. It might be giving my family more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. And maybe that's the massive success that I'm searching for. I don't fucking know. But what I came to realize at the end of the trip is like I'm ready to achieve whatever it is, and I'm open to receive it however it may come. That's yeah. Yeah, it's it's on your terms, man. Yeah, exactly.
Delayed gratification. You, we're not smart enough to know when the time is.
Exactly.
You know, we have a radar screen, you know, and the radar screen is only this big. This is what we can see. But there's so much mountains are being moved outside of what we can actually see that we need to be open because you can only see this far, but you got to be open to see what's happening and what's being thrown in your path from the mountains being moved that you can't see and have no clue about. None. Because we're not, you know, we haven't unlocked those part of our brains yet to be able to see everything else. We can only see, oh, I can see that. I can see that. But what's going on out here, you can't see a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Got to be open.
Yeah. I've noticed that with, I call it tunnel vision. Your tunnel vision, just straightforward. I'm going 100 miles an hour in that direction, and all these people or things are coming at me, and I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. But the minute I slowed down and my tunnel vision got wider and I started shaking these hands or talking to these people that were actually coming at me, is when my opportunity started coming at me. It was it was crazy. You know, I'm going 100 miles an hour that way, oblivious of what was going on the sides. But the minute I slowed down, and it took some awakening, whatever, but the minute I slowed down and actually took the time to shake these hands, talk to people, do whatever I had to do, is when my growth started happening. Everything started happening.
Oh,
Stay ready. Yep. Yep. You just it's true. You just think about how many people probably died today, and I no, and you and I don't even know who those people are. Yeah, yeah, And I guess that's where I've shifted everything, man. Like, to what am I gonna leave behind? What am I gonna? What kind of things am I gonna create to not just leave behind, but to make things better for my family, my kids, my grandkids, and my mentality has changed a little bit in that side of things.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks? You know, your dreams for somebody else. I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think it's even that much more important to clearly define what you want and make sure your actions are lining up with what you want because you don't know when your time is up. You don't know how much time you have. So it's even that much more fun. I,
Exactly. And uh, uh, and I guess what I've said with it, man, for my own personal thing is for me is to see the world before I take my last breath. And that's for me. That's what I'm saying. That's for me personally. But it doesn't matter. But for me personally, that's no. For me personally, is to see the world and to be able to leave my family in a more financial, better place. You know what I'm saying? Than where I started. Better than where I started. Not really. It doesn't matter, but it gets them a better to whatever dreams and goals and that they have. It is. But if it's maybe that's on them. that's on them. That's the if that's what they choose to do, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? That's not, but it's putting them in the position to be able to do it from where I set them up. Yeah. Or just exactly, just get them up a little, boost them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And no, and that's where I've had no, and that's where I've had that conversation with my daughters personally. Is like, hey, I want to get you guys to a higher place. My parents got me to where I'm at, a little higher. For you guys is to just keep that going, and eventually, as a family, you get out of whatever financial crisis you might be in. You know, the poorness of all that bullshit. More of a long term thing. No, you never know. Yeah, yeah. He's living the life he wants to live. It is. Exactly. I don't know, man. And 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 the way we were brought up, each of one of us is different. So I'm just speaking on my family because I have a very strong family ties. Period. to my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my grandparents, my uncles, all of them. We're all still tight, dude. And for me to speak on it, that's where I come from, because that's where I'm still connected to. You know, and everybody's gonna be different. No, no, and that's where it comes with conversation. That's what comes with conversation. I've had those conversations with my daughters. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and those are the people, and those are the people that I learned to decipher for and cut out. You know what I'm saying? The people that I gave a shit about, I've had those conversations with, and that's okay. And trust me, my daughters have looked at me like I'm crazy a few times. But over the last, I say 3 or 4 years, they've woken up to actually realize and see it more. Hmm. That, or, and, but also for them to be experiencing life and realizing, like, oh shit, he really wasn't just talking shit, you know? It's all doable.
I think this is also why you got to be careful of the people you tell about what you're doing. Sometimes you have to be careful of the people you tell about your dreams, and your chief aims and what you're trying to accomplish, because uh, a lot of people are haters, and you don't want their negative energy starting to seep up into your mind, and you start second guessing what you want and stuff like that. So I think it's important to pay attention who you're sharing your dreams and aspirations with, because people will be killer. Other people could bring you down and you don't even know it, just because they're over here thinking you ain't ever gonna accomplish that. And if you ain't right with yourself, you're gonna let that soak in and not even know it and question yourself, man. Can I do this? You know what I mean? You have to surround yourself with the right kind of people, or you're gonna set yourself up for failure and not even know it.
Yeah, not everybody wants the best for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, I also want to touch on your feelings, man. You guys have mentioned a couple times. Uh, your feelings will never lie to you. Your heart will lie to you. Your mind will lie to you, but your feelings will never lie to you. Uh, and I have a prime example. Even though I choose to turn it into a positive, no matter what, because that's just what it is. But you know, I've came across in situations where my feelings told me, "Hell no, don't do it," and I didn't follow my feelings, and I was eating shit for quite a while for it. But it is important to pay attention, because let's say something comes across your path, like for Robert was talking about. Here's this job that comes across his path that could maybe you relieve some of the stress, whoever, whatever, who cares about any of that? The point is how does that make you feel? How do you know what decision to make? How do you know what decision to make when your path comes across? When these things come across your path? Sorry, you know, how does it feel? If it feels good, follow it. If your feelings tell you, oh, this is not good, then it's probably not good. But your feelings, it's always good to be, it's everything we're talking about is always, it's you paying attention. Your feelings are huge.
Was that? Sure.
Yeah, I had it last week, man. Talking about kind of getting into the actual steps or that we have learned. Maybe I'm pretty sure we've all learned different things, right? But the just kind of some of the actual things people can do to start, implementing some of these things that we've been talking about and success and you know uh, we had a thing on techniques and we didn't really. I don't think we really captured it like we should have. I don't know, just an idea, man. You know, narrowing it down for people on some of the things that they can do to uh, help them follow their dreams and their aspirations and the steps to start taking to get there. Or, well, for example, we were talking about dreams. You know what I mean? I really kind of wanted to talk about, uh, like the techniques we learned about, figuring out, a definite chief aim, something you can achieve within 3 to 6 months. You know what I mean? Something that's big enough that you can believe you can achieve it, but yet small enough that that excites you. And right, you know, achieve it, and from there, from there we can go into the next not logical steps, the actual action you need to take to start moving towards this chief aim that it's all moving towards that massive your massive dreams. But then Berto never really technically has studied that kind of stuff, but I'm sure he can catch on.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Oh,
It's it 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 just it just worded different, man. It's presented different, you know. Oh, mhm, mhm.
100%. Yeah, I mean, how do you even write a comic book? What really goes into a story? I'm studying the 3 act structure right now, and which is super freaking interesting, man. You know what I mean? And I don't even what I forgot what you said right before that. It got me all excited, but uh, yeah. So now for example, I could be like, well, I want to write a comic book, and now for my chief aim, maybe hey, I want to write a comic book, you know, yeah, but it's a little bit deeper than that, though. There's some specific kind of, you know, things you should kind of consider, be thinking about when you create your chief aim. But so there's my chief aim. My next logical steps is, figuring out the story, doing a research on how you even do that, and this and that. All this is what helps you actually be moving towards these things you want instead of just always talking about the bigger topics. I don't know. It's all dope. Yeah, honestly, like, create another. But it's a whole other feeling to look at this shit I have on my wall, and like, wow, this was my chief aim, and then I achieved that. It feels really good to look at this paper on my wall and be like, I have finally arrived at the place that was all that I could see. Now I'm here. Now I can see further. Now it's time for another chief aim, whatever it is. You know. And here's the thing: it's just to help. it just helps to create, because once you have like a chief aim, and you start taking your actions, that shit's gonna start happening. You know what I mean? And you're gonna start seeing, oh shit, here's another way, or here's something else. It just kind of helps the process of fuck achieving anything. You know what I mean? And opening up those doors and opportunities by creating your next action steps to get there. Because very rarely does it just happen. It can, but you have to do, something, so I just think narrowing these steps down kind of help. I think we'll just, again, just for myself, just helps, just a reminder, right, for myself, and not to mention maybe some other people grasp these things and be able, like, okay, or even notice, wait, I did that and didn't even know you did that. You might not even know you did that. So
just a roadmap, to your destination, man.
Yeah.
That's
it. I think it would help people. I think it would help people if we were to talk a little bit about that kind of stuff, and kind of dive a little deeper in some techniques to achieve your success, techniques to get that path growing and going, and things coming in to help you continue down that path. I think would be very important for people, and a good reminder for ourselves. But
yeah.
Ever. I mean, I think we probably might as well just do it now. We're already on it. I'm ready to go. Hey,
All right.
Chief Abe. I love this. These little exercises.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, like us, comment anything you guys want to hear, talk about. Let us know.
Can't wait to finally start getting some guest hairs down the road. As soon as this goes, I'm about to post it.